When Chris said, "I'm not carrying you," with a straight face, and then proceeded to walk through that water with his size 5,000 feet, I almost fainted. Okay? I almost fainted. He said, Jesus walked on water, but I'm not. So, Amaya, this whole season, if I'm not your book, don't read it. If I'm not your cup of tea, don't drink it. If my light is too bright for you, don't look and put on glasses. Love Island season finale 2025 was a movie. Okay? A movie. Because I'm not going to lie, and I said this in my pre-show recap yesterday, but I feel like Amaya and Amyron deserved it. I'm not going to lie. My hat's off to them because they actually really like each other. Like, they go together real bad, and I love that for them. Now, did I selfishly want Nicolandria in 5? Did I vote for Nicolandria in 5? Was I down with the Nicolandria in 5 gang? I was. And after seeing a date yesterday, I feel like things would have went different if they showed the date, like Nicolandria date, an episode earlier or before the voting went out. Because the truth of the matter is that date really solidified it for me, baby. I told y'all last night. There was a few weeks ago, somebody said that they needed an editor. I don't care if we on a run, baby, long as I'm next to you. I need that. That date was beautiful. Watching them read the notes from the people and their families, I was just like, oh my God. And then the way that their families affirmed that they wanted them to be together, I literally had tears in my eyes because I was like, yo, this is so beautiful. The date was just magical. And yes, I wanted them to win, but I also have to give credit where credit is due. Amaya and Brian's date was also beautiful. It was beautiful. The book with all the pictures from their childhood, the way that they talked about their culture and how it aligns, the way that they were talking about holidays, it just was like a beautiful love story. And to be honest, I said this and I'm going to keep saying it. I truly believe that Amaya and Brian are going to get married. Like they literally need to be a married couple and their families go together real bad. I love them. I'm happy for them that they won. I think they deserved it. Now, selfishly, I wanted Nicolandria to be, the underdog story that came up and was like, you know what I'm saying? And also, y'all gonna stop playing with my girl Amaya. Cause yeah, sometimes she can't say words right, but she's poetic, goddammit. Okay? She's poetic because when she said, if my light is too bright for y'all, then don't look at it. I said, that's right. And then I started going down a rabbit hole because she was like, yo, Amaya, this whole season, if I'm not your book, don't read it. If I'm not your cup of tea, don't drink it. If my light is too bright for you, don't look and put on glasses. Okay? She might have said skydiving, dive skying once or twice. Okay? Maybe she said Tuesday tacos. But y'all are not going to sit here and play like Amaya has not been a poet this entire season. Okay? Because if she's not your cup of tea, don't drink it, god damn it, on my soul. So I love that. And honestly, their moment was beautiful. I can't be mad at them being the winners. What really blew me, though, was when they asked, what's his name? When they asked Brian if he was going to split the money with Amaya. Like, don't piss me off. Don't piss me off. Don't piss me off. Okay? And now let's get to let's cut to the moment y'all all been waiting for. So actually, no. Pepe and Iris, Papyrus, date very forgettable. Date very forgettable. Papyrus's date, I don't even remember them debriefing Papyrus's date. Now, do I think that they like each other? I think they do, but I could have done without seeing it. I'm not gonna lie. Like I don't know. I'm not mad at it, but I just feel like in terms of love, like very forgettable. I hope them the best, and I feel like they may work outside the villa, but you know what I'm saying? Who's really rooting for them? Now, the moment we've all been waiting for. Chris told Huda that she could walk on water. That date was a disaster. Yo, I'm not going to lie, and I'm not going to lie. When Chris said, I'm not carrying you, with a straight face, and then proceeded to walk through that water with his size 5,000 feet, I almost fainted. Okay? I almost fainted. He said, Jesus walked on water, but I'm not. Please. Like, why? You could have, and then when he put his hand out and she said, nah, and he decided to turn around and keep walking. Man said, I don't care. Yo, that man said, I'm finally free. Free me till it's backwards. Chris said, I've been being tormented for all this time, all for you to talk about being friends. Honestly, somebody needs to really make a t-shirt that say free Chris till it backwards, because if Fed Up was a person, that man was fed up, okay? When I tell you he kept pouring him glasses of champagne, he was like, I gotta make this work. The fact that they were voted into our top 4, and it was clear this whole time that they didn't even really like each other, is insane to me. Okay? When he grabbed the bottle, I was floored. Okay? This was insanity. That man was fed up. And let's rewind. Let's rewind to what happened earlier in the episode. When the whole situation with the bed happened, where he accidentally hit her with the pillow. I saw where it was going the minute Chris accidentally hit her with the pillow. She was like, oh my God, you took me out. And she came back with the patch on the nose. I knew the minute he rolled his eyes that he was so over it. He was like, can somebody please put me out of my goddamn misery? Then when she came to bed and he was pretending to be asleep with the pillow over his head, when he had the pillow over his head like he was sleeping. And then when she did the countdown like she was a preschool teacher, and she said, if you don't turn around, I'm going to give you until 3. 1, 2, 3. And that man was like, I don't care. Who are you talking to? Why are you talking to me like I'm a kid? That was crazy to me. I could not believe that she really did the countdown and was like, you're gonna regret this tomorrow. If this is not emotional abuse, I don't know what is. I can't even sleep. And he was like, I'm not on none of that tonight. I just want to sleep. I'm just tired. And she was like, I'm telling you right now, I'm very confused. I couldn't understand it. So then when he was at the dock with his man's Brian, his casa bro, and he said, I want you to keep it real with me. Tell me the truth. What should I do? And that man Brian said, you want me to keep it real with you? And he said, yes. And Brian said, I would make it work. I said, Brian, are you his casa bro or not? Are you his casa bro or not? Because why are you watching this man get abused and telling him to work it out? Like, damn, and we knew you was going to get the money, Brian. Brian better break his casa bro off a smooth 5,000. Smooth 10K, because the amount of times he told that man to make it work, knowing that man was being literally abused, is crazy. He better get that man a smooth 5K, maybe 10K for real for his pain and suffering, because that's crazy. That's nuts. And then the way that everybody was waiting for them to come back to the villa, the way everybody was watching them come back, like they literally was terrified. I've never seen a group of people with more suspense in their face. They all was like, uh-oh, is it Hurricane Huda or are they in love? Like, that shows you the level of abuse that they've been enduring throughout this whole time. So then What I will say is, Chris gaslit Huda to hell. Okay, and I felt like he was trying to get his lick back. Chris gaslit her to hell because the truth of the matter is he wanted her to say that she didn't want to be with him no more because, sir, you spent this entire episode, the last 3 episodes, telling everybody you wanted no parts, telling everybody in the villa that it was clipped for you, and you literally sat there and was like, well, tell me what you want to do. Like, you know damn well. He's like, it's on you. But you know damn well you wanted that to be over. You could have, and that man said, I'm not gonna lie, if I go on this date and we still going through this, I'm gonna crash out. Like, I have to give her credit for at least putting him out of his misery. At least she read the room. You know what I'm saying? At least she said, you know what? Let's just be friends. And I don't even think she really meant it. I felt like she could see the pain and suffering in his face. Okay? But I at least applaud her for putting him out of his misery because we all knew that it was him in his misery. And then when they got back to the villa, the way she was so quick to be like, I said that we wouldn't work outside the villa. I said it. I told him. I said it first. Had me weak. Because she needed everybody to know that she was the one that said that it wasn't going to work. I said it. I told him. But my favorite moment was when Ariana Madix said, we've also had some epic crash outs this season. And she turned and looked at Huda like this. And Huda smiled and nodded. Oh my God, the jokes write themselves. You can't make this up. Like, even Ariana Madix was being tortured. Even she was going through it. Like, damn. It's like everybody, and you know, I'm not mad at her because you're right. At least she knows. At least she knows that that's who she is. I just need the rest of the world to come along on this journey with us and realizing that's who she is. But that's that on that. It said last night's episode gave everything it was supposed to give because, to be quite honest, the fact that we all knew they weren't supposed to be in the top 4 and everybody was screaming that Huda was going to win the money. The fact that the Huda felons were yelling at us and telling us that she was going to win the money. Okay. But I will say maybe they can use, I feel like Amaya is a good person. So she might be the type of person that will give Huda some of the money so that she can find her a really good therapist and help her get some help. And I hope that for her. You know what I'm saying? I want that for her. I hope that she heals. But Chris does not. Chris does not want her to heal. Chris don't want no parts of her. Chris said, please get me out of here. Okay? Chris said, I need to be off this island, and they finally freed that man. Free him till it's backwards. Now, I still haven't forgiven y'all for the fact that Shalace was not in the final 4 because the fact that y'all made us watch Huda, Chris, and Papyrus at the end of this season in the final 4, that was the least romantic shit that I've ever seen in my life. Outside of the fact, there was one thing that I missed, and it's a really important detail about last night's episode. When Huda and Chris were on their date, and it was so uncomfortable, and that lady got up there and started singing. When they was on a date, and it felt like there was so much tension in the air you couldn't breathe, and that lady started singing. Now that's production. That is what I'm talking. That is what good TV looks like. Okay? Because why didn't production say, do not go out there and start singing? It's over. Like, don't go out there and do not, just forget about the song. Let's just wrap this up. Production is so messy because they saw all of this was happening and still said, send her out, guys. Send her out. It's time for, send her out and let her sing the song. Okay. I don't make the rules. I don't work for Love Island. I'm just saying that they knew what they was doing. They knew what they was doing. And then to see Chris get up and walk away, and the thing is, Chris is 6'8". So watching him walk away from that table was so dramatic. And on my soul, on everything I love, production is dead wrong because I swear to God, they played Huda walking through that water in slow motion. I swear to God, I swear to God, they made such a big deal out of the fact that he would not carry her and then let us see her walk through that water in slow motion. I think, give production a check. Give production a check, okay? And honestly, I felt like they realized they really needed to land the plane this week and show all of the moments with Huda's crash outs because her fans are crash outs. And so that's what they did. And they did a really good job at it. I'm still mad at y'all for not having Shalace in the Final Four because is Shalace, for real, Shalace, like y'all let Shalace go? But I will also say, if I had to, I'm so sick of, I'm telling y'all now, I'm not a Taylor and Clark fan. Y'all know that. But in the grand scheme of things, it should have been Huda Chris. Not Huda Chris. In the grand scheme, absolutely not Huda Chris. In the grand scheme of things, it should have been Shalace. It should have been Amaya. It should have been Nicolandria. And it should have been Taylor and Clark. Those should have been the Final Four, honestly. But in my personal opinion, I felt like everybody thought it was just too many black people. And again, I still am on Taylor's body because he needs to be accountable because, sir, you didn't apologize for what you did to Olandria, and that's what really made you weak. Like, my only beef with Taylor and Clark is that Taylor didn't apologize because you know that you didn't say what you needed to say. You could have just said, I don't want no parts. Like, I'm not interested. I found a new connection and move on. But the fact that you didn't do that and then you didn't apologize, that has been my beef with Taylor this whole time. My beef with Clark is that she didn't hold Taylor accountable when she had the opportunity to, because she should have said to him, listen, the way you're moving is funny. I think you need to wrap this up, blah, blah, blah. But they should have definitely been on the finale over Huda Chris and over Papyrus. But again, I think that production probably thought, oh, it's getting real black. It's getting real black here. You know what I'm saying? But Tyler, I'm not a hater. Taylor and Clark seem very happy outside the villa. I've been watching videos of them. Taylor and Clark and Shalace seem really happy outside the villa, and I love that for them. But I truly believe that the reason that that wasn't the group to make it to the finals is because it would have been way too black for them. So it is what it is. You know what I'm saying? We still got to realize we're watching reality TV in a world that favors white people. So I truly believe that that's why all of them didn't make it to the finale.